Yes, my smile is from ear to ear because my guests are here just the way I love it to be, despite the rains, the bitter odds, and they're here, and I appreciate them even before I do the introduction. Today, we shall take a look at the state of the nation. As usual, the front pages of our papers are focused, and everything we'll talk today will be taken right from there. State of the nation. I have guests in the house to help me, dissect the topics. Let me start with a lady. She is Sharon Chiahemen. She is a social commentator and a seasoned climate change leader with over 7 years of experience spearheading high-impact projects that drive social change. She also has a background in operations and social media strategy. Sharon, it's so nice to have you on the show. You're so busy. It's your second time since almost 5 months since the last time you were here. I have chased. Appreciate the fact that you were busy, but I'm happy that you're here this morning despite the rains. And looking very beautiful.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here again.
Thank you, Sharon. And yes, another friend that I acquired during this process is Anire Toba Owojaiye. He is a seasoned political affairs analyst, career coach, and business development consultant with over 2 decades of proven experience. He is also driven by a deep passion for Nigeria's development and well-being, the reason why he is here. Toba, it's so nice to have you once again.
Thank you very much.
You're also one very busy person. You're everywhere globetrotting. I'm happy once again for the third time. You've been able to honor my call for also to discuss issues that concerns us as Nigerians.
Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I did send you 3 focus which we shall be taking a look at, and one is the statement credited to Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is the Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO. Now, according to her, the Tinubu administration deserves credit for stabilizing the economy, and she lauded the president's sweeping economic reforms, describing them as pivotal in restoring economic stability and laying the groundwork for sustainable growth. This is not the only topic we shall be taking a look at. Another focus is inflation. We just got a report that inflation dropped for 4th consecutive time, and we'll try to understand how that is possible in the present Nigeria that we live in. If it goes beyond the papers, or there's something that we are not seeing as Nigerians, or there's something more to learn as Nigerians, as my guest this morning will be telling us, their point of view on these emerging topics. Then, of course, finally, our third focus is insecurity. Where we have reports saying that the Independent National Electoral Commission has moved continuous voter registration centers from its offices in 4 Borno State local government areas to Maiduguri, the state capital, citing security and safety concerns. Well noted that the entire exercise will be conducted in 3 phases, starting from August 18th, 2025 to August 30th, 2026. So there you have it. This is our core focus this morning, and let us start from the first, which is the statement credited to Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, saying that the Nigerian economy, stabilized on that Tinubu. And I'm starting with the lady, which is, of course, the right thing to do. So, Sharon, this morning, it is over to you as we find your reaction. I'm picking a tip right now to this statement by Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Your take on this statement.
All right, so first, thank you for having me again. And second, this is a very interesting story or headline to look at this morning. And 2 things I want to establish first is, number 1, this is the Director General of the World Trade Organization. She's a seasoned economist. She has the background in finance. She's an authority figure when it comes to macroeconomics and, all of that. I am not an economist by training, so whatever it is I'll be saying will not be from a professional standpoint of understanding of macroeconomics, but as somebody who works in the social impact space that is very close to the grassroots, that gets to interact with the lived realities of the ordinary Nigerians, I want to say that there's like something is not adding up. The figures look good on paper, saying it has been stabilized under this economy. Those figures don't mean anything to the ordinary Nigerian. They don't care if the World Trade Organization says that, for the first time in 4 years, Nigeria's whatever has dropped by 40%. Is that the reality for them? As long as it doesn't translate into their lived realities, those figures don't make. In fact, they don't even believe it. If you tell them that all the governments in the world are saying, wow, Nigeria has moved 30 places up, as long as their own lived reality, what they are seeing on the streets every single day, has not improved, then it doesn't equate. So it's almost like you're looking at reality and fiction. Like, they are saying this, I mean, the professionals are saying this. I mean, Ngozi has said this now, and she's a professional. I can't come out and say, what she's saying is wrong, but I just wish that there was a way that those figures on paper can translate into tangible realities. I mean, you're saying that inflation has dropped, but we're seeing that food inflation is still at least 28% or more, and the year is almost ending. It has still not dropped since the year started. I think I saw something that you also put up, from telecoms cost to food to just everything is still very, very high, and the purchasing power is, I think, one of the major issues that we have, because you may say that money has increased in circulation, the economy is getting larger, people are earning more money, there are more jobs, but somebody that is earning more money, let's say what you call more money is maybe the person has a 500,000 naira salary, but what that can get the person for 500,000 naira is presently it's not making sense. So you tell the person that, this regime has brought down the inflation, and the person is asking you, but how? I mean, yesterday I could get a particular quantity of food for this amount, but now I'm getting less than half of that ordinary quantity for ×2 of the money. So yes, she may be right with the figures and the economies and the jargons, that the economy's jargons, but for the ordinary Nigerian, it's not translating into tangible physical evidence for us.
So like you say, it's just like fact and fiction. It's like the more you look, the less you see, not balancing at all. So Toba, you've heard what Sharon, the opening that Sharon has given to us. I don't know if you have something different in terms of this statement credited to Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, representing the WTO. Tinubu's administration deserves credit for stabilizing the economy. She has lauded him, saying that his sweeping economic reforms can be described as pivotal towards that. So I really want your reaction to that statement.
Yes. What she said is correct, but other things she said has not been brought to light. It's just this part that is being pushed. She said that the president needs to now grow the economy. She has not said he's doing wonders. She said he has stabilized the economy. What needs to be done now is for the economy to grow and for him to put a stronger safety net for the poor. So her statement must be carried along with these other things. It's not a standalone.
Okay.
She's saying that yes, the economy has been stabilized, and I agree with her
that the economy has stabilized.
Yes,
okay.
It has not solved all our problems. You see, there is a global economy, there's an African economy, there's a Nigerian economy, and it needs to trickle. There are policies that the people who put in their funds need to see for them to bring their funds in, and you need funds in. You need to do infrastructure, you need to put in some security, you need to do a lot of things, you need to remove subsidy at some point. It's tough, but you see, this is the way Nigeria had to go. I've said it on this station many times. We are painfully, slowly in the right direction. It's painful, it's slow, it's like having a wound and your bandage being ripped off. Tinubu could have done a better, easier, softer job of removing the bandage on us. But there are things that were going really, really wrong. The last refinery we had in Nigeria was created in 1984. So we used 40 years to sleep on a commodity that was giving us 80% of our revenue, and also depended on 80% on our daily life, because it it affects transportation, it affects generators and everything. And we played with it for 40 years, while countries that didn't have any of that, South Korea doesn't have fuel, but they have 6 refineries. So that was a direction in which we slept for too long.
Are we awake now?
That's what I'm saying, that at least we have a refinery now, though private driven, which is still policy, that is now exporting to India and USA. Dangote is now one of the top 6 businesses whose fuel is now in other countries. And this is a step in the right direction. We are seeing BOA also coming up. His own refinery is making progress. We need to see our refinery in private hands. We need to see, for the first time we are hearing that real estate has surpassed fuel in revenue in Nigeria. We need to see our economy begin to move away from just oil. These are the things that she is pointing towards. The cost of transportation has not largely increased in Nigeria in the last 1 year. And let me say some food stuff. The issue, I still have an issue with.
I want to hear that again, that the cost of transportation has not
largely increased. I'm giving an example about the cost of what it took to... I'm coming.
I'm listening.
Then listen. The cost it took me to come from Kubwa here has been the same in the last 2 years. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm giving you an example. I'm not saying that every sector has worked out, but generally the cost of transportation increased but has remained virtually stable for like a year. The cost of transportation and other things. So this is what she's talking to us. The economy is stabilizing. It is not yet good. This is what I don't think people understand the difference between is doing well. She said now grow the economy. Now you have stabilized it. You have made dollar remain almost at the same place for 1 year. Because if I'm doing a business and I'm bringing my funds in and there's a strong fear that it can go either up or down, those doesn't work for macroeconomics. It works for greedy business folks who just want to trade in fast and trade out fast. Those who want to invest $100 million into a place are careful. Will this 100 grow by 20% and then I will still lose 50% in that same place? They'll be careful to bring in their funds. But when it stabilizes, people can now plan, people can now do them.
I want to go back to Sharon, and I would really love you to react to some of what Toba has said, because I'm just sorry, I reacted. I had my brows up when he talked about transportation, and for me, I know I'm not on the seat. I totally disagree with him on that. But again, my opinion doesn't count right here. Yours count, and you're free to air your opinion. And that is why we're here. We have 2 people for or against or same. But I want you to react to some of the things he said, especially transportation aspect and the fact that this economy is. The statement made by Okonjo Iweala, he agrees with it, though you disagree with it. But just pick a little bit of that, talking about transportation and, of course, other issues that he raised.
All right, so 2 things that I want to react on is, number one, I love that he mentioned that the statement was not presented in full.
Yes. And
I also love something that he said about we needing to know the difference between stabilized and good. And that's really true, because when you say stabilized, in terms of the transportation, when you said transportation, I first raised my brows because I was trying to calculate if you know, there's been, and when he first said in the past 2 years, I raised my brows, but immediately he said it has been sustained in 1 year, then I agreed. Because yes, in the past 2 years the transportation jumped, but I did a very quick rethink when he was sitting. I was trying to calculate how much does it take me to get to work. Has it greatly increased? I noticed that the margin has actually stayed, you know, almost the same. I won't say for the past 1 year, but maybe in the last few months for me personally, the margin has actually been like stagnant, not really going up as it was shooting up like about 2 years ago. And then in terms of the dollar rate, which controls like a lot of things in the country, like I said,
controls
like
everything.
it's not just even internal business. If anybody wants to invest not just in businesses but like in the economy as a whole, they're looking at the stability. And truly, as somebody that is always on the move, always changing dollar to naira and all of that, I realize that it has actually, in fact, sometimes it goes down and then it comes up, but I don't think it's been long since it went up to like 1.7 or 1.680. It has been within the margin of 1.5s. So it's either 1.530, 1.540, 1.550. So that is true. So I'll agree with him on the side that yes, it may be painful and slow. So at this point, I feel like we've slept enough that people are desperate for fast change. But if we've slept on things for 40 years, 30 years, then we shouldn't expect exponential growth. So yes, I agree that based on some factors we may be going, but it's very slow and very painful and almost insignificant. Almost easy to a point where you feel like, oh, there's even no difference. It feels that way right now, that there's no difference. But if other measures are put in place, like the major things like the oil and gas, the dollar keeps getting stabilized, I think those two things are going to influence the speed at which the economy is going to improve. But for now, the difference is not very visible except you sit down and really study. So the difference is not really visible to the ordinary person right now.
Okay, now when you started, you were trying to let us understand that, again, talking about Okonjo's statement, and statements like this that we see day in, day out, when we see on the papers that the economy is stabilizing, and when you go on the street, the results or the reaction or the reality is always very different. So I'm asking, how do we marry? How do we breach? How do we break the barrier? How do we ensure that the statistics given to government, in your opinion, the statistics always and often given to by government or seen on the front pages of our papers, how do we marry that with the reality on ground? Because we've established here that when we see reports like this, it doesn't reflect reality. It doesn't. Day in, day out, every analysis that you have on different stations, on radio stations, is the same. The realities on paper do not reflect the realities on ground. In reality, the common man on the streets, those at the market, those who make up the population, these are just few people governing us. How do we marry governance with the reality on the street, in your opinion? So we have the figures saying what we feel and not what government is telling us.
All right, beautiful. I love that. And once again, permits me to steal something from what he said. He said macro economies and everything, it trickles down. Okay. So I want to start by saying that most of the problems that we're complaining about in Nigeria is not unique to us. If you are conversant with the global news outside of Nigeria, you see that I think every economy right now is going through it. The UK, the US, everywhere you check their own news, people are complaining about inflation. In the US, people are complaining about different things. I feel like right now globally,
the difference is they give you the statistics that are on ground, and it showcases or reflects what is on ground. Not different from what's one instance on paper and something different on ground. So how do we breach this in Nigeria?
So looking at that, I want to say that there are two factors here. For the common man or the citizens, there's the angle of emotions and myself. The government is saying the entire country has increased by 70, but me, one person, it's not 17%. And we need to realize that when it comes to economies, governing a nation, moving a country out of the Great Depression and debt that we've gone through, we cannot work on emotions, sadly, right? So if the figures, or we need to put some things in place that don't make sense to the ordinary person, all these figures they're calling, the parameters that we're calling, don't make sense to you, but if that's what the government needs to work on to make sure that maybe in the next 2 to 4 years the other things you are complaining about works, then I just think the problem that Nigerians have given up on the government. So right now, no matter what the government says, that oh yes, we know that this is the problem, this is your personal problem, but we need to solve this. So we can give you a short-term success now, make sure we crash the price of food and all of that, but from the systems and structures we've put behind, if we work on this for the next 2 to 4 years, then in the next 5 years and forever, this thing you are complaining about will no longer be a problem. I don't know if that makes sense. So there's the emotional part of solve this one now, but we think that running an economy like Nigeria is not 2 million people, 2,000 people. Running an economy like this is beyond just people say this and oh okay, people are complaining that the price of food has increased. Okay, so now let's crash the you don't, there are lots of things that go behind the scenes. People that work in finance, economics, policies and all of that, they know that. So for me, I feel that if the government can buy, I don't know if that's possible, to buy back the trust of the people, to say, hey, I hear you, I know this is the problem, but see, for me to fix this problem for you, please trust us, give us 1 year to put this and this in place, and then this problem will never, because I can solve this problem for you this year, but if I don't fix this one, maybe in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, we'll be back to where we are. But the problem is the trust has already
Sharon,
been broken.
I got a little bit of heart palpitation when you said 2 years, 3 years.
No, but
2 years,
you
3
can't
years.
use 2 years is even too small.
And my heart
that's
just went
what people don't understand. The problem in Nigeria has been going on for years. Like you said, if we slept on developing our petroleum sector for 40 years, then we shouldn't expect 2 years to bring us up to speed.
If we're talking about this administration that started when? 2023? 2023, 2024, 2025, and you're talking 2 years, 3 years. They have just 1 year more to go. So that is, okay, let me go back to Toba, who says he's just shaking his head. Toba, when an African or a Nigerian father or mother shakes her head or his head, then there's something going on. So why are you shaking your head? Is it something that I said, or is it
something you said?
Please
I agree with her.
React to what exactly is making you shake your head?
I think I'll find
I
will find you why we talk.
No, tell me, please. Tell me. I want to know.
I agree with her. You see, even fixing a family is not easy. A family, just a small unit. My wife's birthday is in September. School fees is before that September. I have other things I need to do. As much as I want to buy her a gift now, I've sent through pre-order so that the gift is cheaper and it can arrive a little. There's a lot of planning to fix this country. We were drowning. Now we are not drowning, we are floating. But we're not safe. You see, and this is what she has said. And I wish people clearly understood what she has said. She's not saying we are still in the water. We are not safe yet. But we are not drowning. Okay, we're not drowning. We are at a point in which 99% of our budget was going strictly for paying of debt. Now we've been able to up our foreign reserve, we're able to clear some of our backlog debts. Yes, we are still getting far more debts coming in for infrastructure, but these are necessary things. My only question is the padding. The jobs are good, but the figures we are hearing is what is, and I agree with her, is the distrust. People don't trust the government. And the government
and whose fault is that?
And the government has not done anything to change that. There's a person with snake, don't bite, they fear robber. The government has beaten us too many times, not just this government, other governments that have come in. And sorry to say, even the people that are coming in as our saviors are only dancing to the tune of what they know the people want to hear.
And not the reality.
They are the same set of
same old.
So this is where we need to fix it. The government needs to speak to us more. We need to get good communicators. To be honest, I have not seen good communicators for Nigeria. I have not seen them. This is what needs to be done on a macro scale. This is what the president is doing right. This is what this is doing right. This is what Umba of Enugu is doing right. Best governor by a mile. A few days ago, he just opened his own new bus stations
100
with 100 CNG buses. This is what we are saying, that you can put CNG buses to move the masses. The big men will not enter it, and they are not your target. They should go and get fuel at the filling station. But put these CNG buses to move the masses. Foodstuffs cannot just be thrown in. The president has to take back on the policy of Buhari that blocked the border for 8 years and open it back for food. And has not opened it as much as he should, because if you do that, other contraband will come in.
Pass through.
It's a very tough decision to weigh. What should we open? What should we close? How do we get in more food? How do we keep the food? Also notice that what you complain that is expensive in Nigeria, if you convert it to dollar, it is very cheap. Take a bag of rice, convert it to dollar, check the price of that rice in USA. So there are countries that just come, buy up our food before it is even harvested. Yes. And they pay top money, the same money the farmer will have sold it at the farm. They will buy it up from you, harvest it themselves, and transport it themselves. For it's safer for the farmer. No headsmen, no militants to catch him on the road. He sells it off. They pack it and go and store it in their country. So we are fighting. That's why I said there's a global economy that is fighting us and draining us. There's also our own economy.
Internal
yes, and
issues.
Then our division by even our politicians, our traditional rulers, all of these factors are part of what every president has to contend with. EFCC can hardly arrest anybody in Nigeria from the north. I'm sorry to say, I'm just telling you the factors that play in. Because once you do that, you're going to have a lot of drama, you're going to have issues. So there's a lot that even if you come in, you just come in with your textbook understanding of Nigeria, you will flop from the first day. These are the things that need to be put in place.
Well, that's the story of Nigeria being told to us by a Nigerian who I cannot argue with him, because we will have a right to our opinions. And the reason why we're going to take a break right now, so we can open the phone lines and you can call in and be part of the conversation. It's not over yet. We still have 2 more to go. To take a look at a related story, which is inflation dropping by its fourth consecutive time in Nigeria, which is related to the statement credited to Owojaiye. And of course, we have insecurity issues, which we shall be taking a look at. We'll take that break, and when we return, more for you. Welcome back. It is the press, and we're still here. The phone lines are open right about now, and you can call in and be part of the conversation. This program was created for you, every Nigerian, both at home and in diaspora. You can call in wherever you're watching the show and be part of the conversation. We're taking a look at the state of the nation. We are done with our first discussion, but the second one, which we're about to start now, is related to you can actually marry both, because we're talking about Nigeria, talking about our economy. And yes, there's a new statement which says inflation drops for 4th consecutive time. I still want us to talk about it, because the figures are not tallying, and we keep having this. In July, we did have the statistics saying it fell, and it will continue to fall. And now in August, we've gotten this report that inflation dropped for the 4th consecutive time. And on the front page of the Nation newspaper, it says Forex food push rate down. Forex food push rate down. I just want to understand, Sharon, how possible this is. I know we before the break we were talking about the statement credited to Owojaiye. Of course, we talked about the economy, as it were, but there's something different for the front page to give us the statistics that inflation has dropped and that Forex food actually pushed it down. For me, it's like a paradox, but I would also want your reaction to this. How true?
The Forex.
Okay.
Like I said, the communications for both parties need to understand the meaning of statements that they use.
Okay.
When you say Forex has dropped, immediately what somebody is thinking about is,
475 naira.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was 500. Now it's still 1,500. Telling me it has dropped.
It has dropped.
maybe say it's dropping.
Not dropped.
Not that it has dropped.
It is dropping.
Or if you say it's dropped, I think they should also be giving timelines. Like, oh, between now to now it dropped. But you give blank, vague statements like, oh, it has dropped. The other Nigerians, because Nigerians are always thinking of good old days. We are thinking far back. We're holding on to good old days. So when you say I dropped, they are already thinking, but it used to be 400 and now it's 1,500. You're telling me it has dropped. It has not dropped. They begin to argue. So you have to explain that, oh, we're talking about, oh, between this time to this time. So I also think those statements need to be given time duration. It has dropped or it is dropping. And like I said earlier, yes, this year, in fact, for the past 3 to 4 months, Forex has been a bit stable. It has not left the 1,500s, as I call it. It has, I think it has gone down to 1,400, the 400s just once, but it has not gone above 1,500s. So yes, I can personally, for someone that deals a lot for, I would say yes, it has stabilized, but not that it has dropped, because we've not gone back to the way the 700, 400 and the rest. Yes, and then for food, like you keep on saying, I totally disagree. Out with Forex, I'm saying that it's dropping, it has stabilized, it has not dropped. With food, I disagree completely. Food has not dropped. Food has not dropped. In fact, I think one of the greatest factors that makes Nigerians to not believe anything the government is saying is because food is like everybody eats. Food is one that you cannot do without. Some people can decide to work remotely, they are not using fuel, so the transportation is not their problem. But food, everybody goes to the market and they are seeing, even the markets that we used to know in Abuja, special market that you go there, you can get food cheaper. Even the difference between the price there and the ordinary market in town now is no longer that much. When you're adding your transport, let me just buy for like a crate of eggs that we used to buy for 800, 1-2. Now you go somewhere and they give you a crate of eggs for 6,000. You're like, this is a good customer, and the eggs are super tiny eggs. And food is one thing that I know, like transport, like he earlier said, transport within the past 1 year has been within the same range. Forex has been within the same, but every day you go to the market, food price is increasing, like it's never going down. Every single day I go to the market, I say, So these days there's a joke that if you go to the market to buy something, they tell you want to buy it there and now. Because when you come back in the evening, not the next day, not next week, not at the end of the month, you come back in the evening, it's no longer want to. And these days they don't beg you in the market anymore. They tell you your price, you argue, they throw away their faces. The food prices are not going down. So for Forex, yes, it's dropping, but for food is not dropping. In fact, food is getting out of hand. Yes, food is getting out of hand.
There you have it. Inflation drops for 4th consecutive time. Forex food push rate down. Sharon, as given an analysis of the front page, I want your own analysis.
Yeah, she said it wonderfully. Forex, she has explained that. Inflation is the first word people need to understand. Inflation is the rise in the prices and the cost of food and services. So if inflation rose by 25% before, and now it rises by only 5%, that is a drop in inflation. That's a drop in the rise. So it's not saying it is cheaper. You see, that's what I say, it's a play on words. Inflation is the rise. So it is not rising as fast as it was
before.
But of course, like she said, there has to be a time frame. Let's say it is not rising as fast as it was 2 years ago. Yes, it's rising, but it's not rising as fast as that jump we saw 2 years ago. So it's this play of words and knowledge that the politicians, opposition, and those always used to play. I agree with her on the food issue. I'll just use this opportunity to say that food cannot be fixed overnight. We built a wrong culture that wants to do every other thing apart from farming. If you take 100 of your friends, not more than 2 of them are farming. So that means the other 98 are doing other businesses that they will still come back home to eat. If you do social media, it's a wonderful job, but when you finish, you have to come back to come home and eat.
Yes.
So that ratio is still too poor. This is what we want the government to do. Make young people see farming as a trend. Farming is still looking like what poor people do. Carry ladies with this kind of big earrings and swag and let them go and farm. Let the youth let's make it attractive. Let's see them farming in the daytime and clubbing in the night and balling and having holidays. See, this is the way to push it. Make farming attractive. Make it a thing of swag and you will see people farm. But as far as we only have old, wretched people deep down in the village farming, nobody wants to do it. Remember, this is something that in the next 200 years, people will still be eating. Hunger is that faithful friend that will never leave you.
Agriculture will not go out of fashion.
It can never go out of fashion. Hunger is a faithful friend. Even on your dying days, there waiting for, except you die, hunger won't leave you. So we need to push this out. The government needs to push this out. More people, and farming is the greatest multiplier.
Now, Sharon, talking about farming, there are a lot of factors that affect food production in Nigeria. Let us take a look at that. Factors that actually affect. We've spoken about it over and over again. We've provided solution. Now, Toba just said something that's very exciting, making farming or agriculture attractive, that the government should find a way to make it attractive to the Nigerian youth, because they don't even want to go there, because they still believe in subsistence farming, where you carry a hoe and you carry a cutlass and rake to farm. But agriculture has gone way, way, way back. Beyond, it's gone technology, it's gone high tech. But now Toba has said something, let's make agriculture fancy for people. Bring in the women with big earrings, make it fancy. Probably the posters or flyers that you can make would help boost that. And you actually empower women. Probably they empower more women in agriculture who won't have the story that we're having now. But there are factors, there are problems, there are hurdles to cross. As we have this opportunity to talk about it, let us take a peek at some of one or two that has led to the continuous rise in food prices at the market.
Okay, so in terms of food production, like you said, make agriculture attractive again. We need to understand agriculture attractive. But let's look at what is making other sectors more attractive. Let's look at the factors that are making other sectors more attractive than agriculture. For instance, someone thinks, oh, by the time I go and farm and maybe headsmen, security, or I wake up one day and they tell me, oh, this land belongs to maybe the government, or they want to do a highway on this place, or they want to build an estate on this part of land and they clear off. Or you farm with all the climate change, this flood takes away all your wipes away your farm, or your yield is not. And then in terms of even that yield, it's a partnership. So the government is supposed to help with seeds that are resistant, helping with inputs like fertilizers and all of those things. But for me personally, I think our generation, let me say my generation, with the Gen Zs, we don't like stress. And they see agriculture as stress. They are looking for something that I don't want to suffer like my mom. I don't want to. Yeah, and there is so much money. Oh my God, there's so much money in agriculture, but nobody has shown them the attractive part of agriculture. Nobody has shown them how lucrative it is. It's like the focus on agriculture has always been, oh, something you do when you've retired, you are finished with city life, then you go to the farmland your father left for you, and then you just go and farm so that you just keep yourself alive. What if we let them know that in your young, youthful age, with your energy, with all of those things, it's not a waste to put into agriculture? Like you said, that's one of the things. Hunger is a faithful friend, right? So you let them know that, oh, maybe this social media that you're doing, for instance, that's the one that I'm used to. Social media is always changing. You're a star on Instagram. Now a new social media platform comes out, they can discard you. Right, and then you start looking for a way to build another platform. Or now it's rain. What is raining now is, oh, everybody is a medical doctor. There was a time that everybody wanted their child to be a medical doctor. Now everybody wants their child to be in tech, do this, do that. It keeps on evolving. Agriculture is the only thing that, whether it evolves or it remains the same, it remains useful. Yeah. So we need to start highlighting the positive parts of agriculture. The same way we let people know that, oh, working remotely means you don't do this, you don't suffer in traffic, you're not spending money on transport, you're earning in this and that. If we keep on focusing on the positive part of agriculture, and then the government supports those that are actually going into the sector, making sure that they are also making profits from, not the one you've put all your energy, put all your money on the farm, and then you go to the market to sell, and then you are at a loss, or there are policies that are not allowing you to export, or all of those things. So it's a dicey situation. But personally, I'm pro farming, like I'm pro agriculture. Maybe it's because I'm from the food basket, but I've seen what farming can do. I've seen the beauty of farming, and I encourage everybody that farming, don't wait until you're old. Start small, and you see the benefits.
Small, you see the benefit. Please, the calls are not coming in anymore. I don't know why it happens. I don't know if it's always like this. People call when they're not supposed to call, and when the phone lines are opened, they just go away. That reason why I explain every time I start the show on my bit. Please wait until you see the phone lines on your screen before you call in. Please call in to be part of the discussion. The show is almost ending, and we are yet to get our first call after the break. We had calls coming in before the break when it wasn't time, but now we don't have any call. Now let us quickly move on to our last topic because of time, which says insecurity forces INEC to relocate voter registration centers from 4 Borno councils. This is a reality as the exercise, that is continuous voters exercise in Borno State, has been halted in some local council areas because of insecurity. And well, there's been so much talk about 2027 and so much plan and preparation have been made, but again it appears that there are some people, because of insecurity, who will not have the opportunity to actually have their say when it comes to election and choosing those that will serve them as a Nigerian. So I want us to take a look again. Every day we talk about insecurity on the show. Every day there's something happening, and now this has happened because of insecurity. Wards have been shifted. Sharon, no, let me start with Toba. Toba, this is happening. The exercise will be conducted from August 18th to 2025 to August 30th, yet some people won't have the opportunity because of insecurity or security problems, to be part of this exercise. So, of course, I want your take on this unfolding situation, which is very, very dire.
It's very sad that we're still at this point, but we worked ourselves as a nation to this point by not trusting each other, by us using violence to try to draw presidency. That's all what's going on here. People trying to use violence to retain power or to draw power to their regions. And then we also see herdsmen and farmer clashes that has not been fixed, and a set of people who just don't want to change the way they do a certain business, which will ultimately surely change one day.
Please, we have a call. I have to take this call.
Yeah, take the call.
It's our first call for today. You can see the joy on my face. Samuel from Gembu, Taraba State. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I just want to contribute a little by saying,
Go ahead.
Farming have been made attractive by the government. Farming is really very difficult to be on the farm. But what I want to say is the government should make it more attractive by applying what the farmers need at a reachable level. In fact, everything is very expensive. That a poor farmer cannot even start farming, even if he has the place to farm. When he farms and there are no inputs, he cannot harvest what he will make him attractive, or that will make him happy that he has achieved something. In fact, the poor farmers always lost out and had to farm. That is one of the issues that is bothering them. They want to farm, and the means to farm are not there. The cost of fertilizers are too high. Then they cannot afford to buy anything to go and put on farm. In fact, if the government were coming in to subsidize at least the fertilizer, I think there would have been some improvement on the farm. In fact, these are some of the things that the government should.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So there you have it. Cost of fertilizer, according to our first caller. I thank you for calling in. Please bring the calls in before we go. We'll take the calls, though we don't have much time. We'll take the calls. So there you have cost of fertilizer. Talking about reasons why we have food. We don't have enough food in the market. So I, of course, want you to continue.
Yeah. So I'll continue on that, on what I was saying. So we need to have a level of trust between the different regions of this country. Once that is established, all these people who are taking advantage of these fights will back off. This is just a continuous drama, but I can assure you that when election reaches, election will take place in these 4 places, these 4 local governments. There has never been an election in Nigeria that we didn't get votes from every single part. So you see, this drag will continue, but once it's election time, all the fights stop for like a week or 2. I really don't understand how that happens. For like 2 weeks again, you won't see any fight again. There will be election everywhere around the country. Then once a leader is chosen, then we are back to this. So this tells me this is not just normal. There's a drama, there's a distrust between our differences, between the north and the south, between the swing of politics. Once this is fixed, we are not like whites. We have not developed to where we say we just vote people based on their competence. I don't see us getting there in 20 years. Power will still be a factor to play in. Once power goes from the north to the south easily, from the south back to the north easily, after a while, we will not need to keep all these wild dogs we are keeping to try to draw power back to our region.
We have a call.
Let's
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
What's your
sir.
name, please, and where are you calling from?
Good morning, my name is Mazu calling from Boston.
Okay, thank you, Mazi. Go ahead.
Yes. My main concern in this issue of labor and the pension money.
Go ahead.
Honestly speaking, it is not good for one to suffer for 35 years, making your own savings when they deduct your employer will be deducting. At the time of come and have rosy life, they will be telling you that another snake, lizard, or another scorpion have disappeared with the money, so-called the government have transferred. Please, I'm just calling your authority concern, please. Bring back the money wherever they are taking it to. Return it to the coffers so that when the people retire, they go back. For our six of Konjiwara, for what they said, some people don't understand this safety, security, or social safety. There is something that what the people of the Nigeria think that how to keep food on the table. Government says it's a long time, but the thing that what will people be doing now? Are we going to wait till we see human being corpses on the road before we say the food is okay? But time will tell. God will help us. Wait.
Okay, time will tell, God will help us, but because of time, I need to quickly go to Sharon to react to the situation in Borno State, where insecurity has forced INEC to relocate voter registration centers from 4 local government councils to the main town, Maiduguri.
One thing I'll say first of all is insecurity is one of the issues that I think allegedly they are not doing enough to stop, because how hard is it? I feel like among all the other, insecurity is one of the easiest ones to solve, because we're there when all of these things started. We allowed it to grow. We allowed insurgents to get away and still live amongst us, and things happen. I mean, you kill 200 people in Yellow Water and you move, nobody is apprehended, not even one person is caught. When they are not ghosts, they are not caught. It gives them audacity to say, okay, I can keep on doing things like that. And number 2, who benefits sometimes from this act of violence and insecurity? Like you said, you are the one keeping the wild dogs to use them, because all this election violence, right? People are not that patriotic to say, my brother must sit on the presidency seat. Somebody is either rewarding them before or after they take that violence. So for someone like me that is I'm not affiliated with any political party, I will not endanger myself and say I want to go out during election and go and kill people. For what reward? There has to be a reward. I'm not just going to cause violence for nothing. It's either somebody is going to reward me and say thank you for hijacking this polling unit and making sure that I won there. So if somebody, if they are doing the act, it means there's somebody that's reward. As long as there's a reward for that, they will not stop. And lastly, why are these people, why do we have such a growing number of people that are taking to violence? For someone like me that is gainfully employed, living my life in, I will not leave Abuja, leave my job, take permission from my boss, and then go to my state to go and fight so that my preferred candidate will win. It's because these people are not gainfully employed. If they are gainfully employed and their mindset is they are being educated properly, you will not be able to. What do you want to give them in exchange for them putting their life on the line?
Time is never our friend. We've been told that we're almost running out of time. I wish we could go on and on discussing this topic. Look, believe me, the calls have been coming in so far. 21 missed calls. I tell you, it is not. I'm not happy that we have situations like this. Please, once the phone lines are open, call in and be part of the discussion. The calls are coming in when the show is rounding up. Is not good enough, but we must go, and the time has come for us to leave. I want to appreciate Sharon Chiahemen, who is a social commentator, and of course Engineer Toba Owojaiye, who is also a political affairs analyst. I appreciate you for coming, taking your time despite the rains to be here. I appreciate you. And for those of you who called in, of course, I say thank you to you. Next week is another date, Monday to Friday on the press. Please ensure to be part of it. I am Anire Binitie. Like I love to say on the show, keep your head up and be good. Bye for now.